What a ride this market has been this week. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, but man, quite the volatility this week. This is the Saturday Stock Market News Roundup, and this one's going to be a little bit longer because there's a lot to cover. So grab your coffee and listen up. I'm going to be giving you 5 very important things to be watching for next week because, as I said, I don't think the volatility is over. I actually think it's going to get worse before it gets better. You're definitely going to want to pay attention to August 7th. I'm also going to quickly touch on the biggest news from the biggest company's earnings this past week because that changed everything and most people don't know about some of the things that happened behind the scenes. And speaking of that, the whole AI world went bonkers with companies like Micron down big lately, APLD down big, IREN down. Even the monster ETF SMH is down substantially in the past month, and DRAM took a huge hit as well. I'm also going to go a little bit deeper into my thoughts on DRAM because it is an ETF that I still believe in, but there is a lot that you need to understand there. Also, I'm going to clue you in on this huge giveaway that I'm doing where you could get a full year free of my school community. I'll go over that later on. My name is Nolan Govea, my students call me Professor G, and I made this channel to make investing simplified. Remember that all investing carries risks, so do your own research. This is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. One of the most bizarre and just biggest stories that happened this week happened to Leopold Aschenbrenner's hedge fund, Situational Awareness LP. Now, if you remember him, he's the person that predicted that AI was just going to crush it. Not just AI, the picks and shovels of AI, the APLD, the IREN, the Nebius. He built an entire investment fund on this thesis, and to be fair, that thesis was winning. The fund reportedly grew to more than $20 billion in assets, and at its peak, some estimates put it closer to $45 billion after massive gains. But then July happened. Many of those AI infrastructure stocks suddenly fell 30 to 40% or more in just a few weeks. Normally that's painful, but when you're using significant leverage, it's devastating. The fund reportedly lost around 67% in July alone, triggering margin calls that forced it to sell much of its portfolio at the worst possible time. In fact, reports say a large portion of those public stock positions had been transferred to Citadel as part of the unwind. Now here's why this matters to us as investors. This wasn't someone that was just picking the wrong stocks. It was a case of being right, but using way too much leverage. The long-term AI story hasn't suddenly disappeared. Demand for AI chips, compute, electricity, and data centers is still expected to grow dramatically over the next decade. But when you borrow money to invest, you lose one of the biggest advantages that long-term investors have, which is time. If you're forced to sell during a temporary downturn, you never get the chance to benefit from the recovery. This is why I wanted to take a second and fill you in on this story, not just show you how this person lost a whole bunch of money and how their fund pretty much evaporated, but more so for you, because I get the question all the time, should I buy this on margin? Should I take on debt in order to buy into this stock that's down, or maybe that it just seems like a good opportunity? The problem is that you're adding so much risk. I don't ever really trade on margin. I don't ever get into debt in order to invest specifically in the stock market. Real estate, different story, but that's for a different day. One of the biggest advantages that we as individual investors have over Wall Street is that we don't have to answer to margin calls. We can simply continue to dollar cost average into high quality businesses or ETFs and just let time do the work. Sometimes surviving volatility is more important than eking out that extra 1 or 2 percentage points. So this is why the companies like APLD and IREN have been so volatile in pretty much anything in the riskier spot of investing. And speaking of volatile, a very popular ETF, DRAM, has dropped big and many people are worried. But I'm not, and I actually doubled down a bit and bought some more during that dip. Let me explain quickly what happened there and what's kind of happening in South Korea overall, and why this is important for you as an investor. Because even if you're not investing in DRAM or any of these types of companies, AI itself and everything that has to do with AI has to do with all the different ETFs that you're investing into, and definitely into any of the individual companies that you're investing as well. Then I'll go over those huge earnings reports that we just saw this last week and the couple of dates and things to watch out for next week. South Korea's stock market is extremely concentrated in semiconductor giants Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix. stocks. These also dominate global DRAM memory production. Over the past month, investors aggressively sold memory chip stocks due to concerns about slowing AI infrastructure spending, rising competition from China's CXMT, profit taking after huge gains, and forced selling from leveraged investors and hedge funds. Because Samsung and SK Hynix make up such a large portion of Korea's market, the KOSPI fell sharply, dragging down the Roundhill DRAM ETF by more than 40% from its highs. So I have a lot of clients that are invested in DRAM, that ETF, or they're just invested in South Korea in general just because that has been growing like crazy all year. But suddenly we saw that huge unwind. So people are asking, what am I doing with DRAM? Am I just leaving it? Have I sold it? Am I buying more? Well, I am definitely just trying to hold this, and I'm going to be holding for a very long period of time, but I did buy a little bit more, and let me tell you exactly why I'm still very bullish on this specifically. AI needs memory, not just GPUs. Every AI accelerator from NVIDIA, AMD, and custom chip relies on high bandwidth memory. More AI models equals more memory required, and memory has become a critical bottleneck in the AI infrastructure. Demand is just definitely expected to stay strong for years with this specifically. AI data centers are still being built. We've seen on all these earnings reports, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, Oracle, they're all talking about spending hundreds of billions of dollars in AI infrastructure. This is an industry with very few competitors, so it's a very high moat. The profit margins are exceptional. Most of these companies are reporting above 75% margins. Now, DRAM itself, the ETF is down more than 40% from its high, and to me that's a positive. Much of the recent decline has been driven by profit taking, hedge fund deleveraging, and valuation compression, not because AI demand disappeared. If the AI thesis remains intact, today's prices may look much more attractive than they did near the peak. So like I said, I'm holding DRAM, I'm actually buying more of it, but just remember that this is very risky, it's very volatile. Be very careful with how much of this you have in your portfolio and look at the rest of the risk in your portfolio. If you have 10 other very risky positions, then skip this one. This is probably my most risky position, and it's very, very small percentage comparatively to the rest of my portfolio. It's nothing close to things like VU or SCHD or QQQM. But for a small portion of my portfolio that I'm willing to risk, I think this is a calculated and educated guess. Now let's talk about some of the biggest earnings reports that you saw happen over this last week that made this market volatile. And I'm going to go over each one of these very quick, just a couple of bullet points, but it's important for you to understand so that you know what to do for the next year of investing. First is my favorite company of them all, which was Microsoft. And it's up big time, up over 15%. The Azure cloud growth accelerated to 43%, the AI revenue continued accelerating, and management kept CapEx disciplined. They still are spending pretty high, but this was one of the biggest AI proof quarters yet, and Microsoft showed AI is already generating meaningful revenue. Then there was Meta, which was a different story, and it's down at least 8%. Revenue grew, but profit fell a bunch and AI CapEx increased again. Amazon is more similar to Microsoft, and that one's up 13 to 14%, specifically on the AWS growth. Earnings also crushed expectations. But free cash flow stayed negative because of the massive AI infrastructure investments. Apple had been doing so good, but it's down a good amount now because the services revenue missed expectations and forward enthusiasm was muted. Apple proved that beating estimates isn't enough when expectations are sky high. Then we gotta look outside the tech sector because Visa is one of the most important ones I was looking at. It's up a bit. The payment volume and cross-border spending remain strong, showing consumers are still spending. Growth is beginning to normalize though, and Visa remains one of the best real-time indicators of consumer health. Then there was Qualcomm. They had a very solid earnings report and up 3% and a positive sign that the AI upgrade cycle is spreading beyond data centers. The theme across nearly every report was the same. Microsoft and Amazon showed that AI investments are already producing measurable financial returns. Meta reminded investors that spending billions isn't enough, you have to show profits as well. Apple demonstrated that mature companies still have to exceed very high expectations, and Visa confirmed that the US consumer remains surprisingly resilient. So you've probably seen a lot of that happen, you've seen a lot of that in the headlines, and so I'm hoping to just break this down for you, but what does it all mean? What does this mean for you as an investor? Basically, everything kind of is centered around AI and is it paying off? Not just how much are they spending on AI, but Is that AI spending actually going to be worth it, and how can we prove it today? Companies that answered yes, it is worth it and we can prove it, like Microsoft and Amazon, were rewarded. Companies that still are a little bit shaky, like Meta, possibly Apple, that's why they're down so much. Now let's shift gears and let's talk about the 5 biggest things that you need to watch out for next week. These couple of weeks are crazy. It just seems like each week there's something big to watch, and not just one thing, multiple things. But before that, I do want to clue you in on this huge opportunity. I'm going to be giving away a free year of school, my new exclusive community, and I want you to be able to jump in. And this is going to be the premium version of my school, totally free for you, so it's literally the best thing I have to offer. In the premium version, you get everything that I offer in the basic tier, like the 4-week investing bootcamp course, blog posts daily from me, and the full community at your fingertips to ask questions and chat with other like-minded investors. But then with the premium version, you also get a weekly live call with me where I give you the inside scoop and go way deeper there than here on YouTube. The watch list, updated monthly. I show you my full portfolio with all my buys and sells from the previous month, and you can direct message me to ask personal questions. I also put up a new course every 2 months or so, and it's all included in your membership. So you'll get that for free for the entire year, and all you have to do is sign up for my totally free newsletter. I send out a newsletter to your email every 2 weeks, breaking down the stock market and giving you 3 big news stories and what I'm watching. There's already over 15,000 of you who already subscribe, and so you're automatically enrolled in this sweepstakes. So anyone who signed up for my free newsletter by this coming Friday will be automatically enrolled, and I'm going to choose the person and announce it here live next Saturday so that you see that this is real. Pause this video right now and just click where it says in my video description below for the totally free newsletter. It'll take you 3 seconds to sign up and you're good to go. This sweepstakes is 100% through Investing Simplified only and has nothing to do with YouTube or any other company. The full rules and details will be listed below so you know. There's no money involved at all on your end. Totally free newsletter to win a totally free year over on school. Okay, let's jump into the 5 most important things that you need to get on your radar for next week. As I said at the beginning, August 7th, Friday's jobs report. This is the biggest event of the week. This will likely determine whether the market starts pricing in a September Fed rate hike or whether inflation fears ease. We're looking for non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, and average hourly earnings. Number 2 is the ISM Manufacturing and Services PMIs. This will happen on Monday and on Wednesday. These reports tell us whether the US economy is still expanding or beginning to slow. I'm specifically looking at that business activity because weak business activity could increase recession concerns while extremely strong readings could add to inflation worries. Number 3, we still have major earnings that are coming up. Even though most of the Mag 7 is reported, we have some big ones in the works. We still have Palantir, AMD, Disney, Eli Lilly, and Caterpillar, just to name a few. AMD gives another read on the AI chip demand, Palantir shows enterprise AI adoption, Disney reveals consumer spending on entertainment, Eli Lilly remains one of the biggest healthcare stocks, and Caterpillar is a great gauge of global industrial demand. Number 4, the AI trade absolutely faces its new test. Like I said, investors are very much looking for proof that AI is working. That's why Amazon and Microsoft did well and are up right now. That's why Meta and Apple are down right now. Next week's reports, especially AMD and Palantir, are going to help answer, is AI demand still accelerating? Are companies still investing aggressively? And is the AI bull market broadening beyond NVIDIA? This is likely going to influence things like the semiconductor market, software in general, and the NASDAQ as a whole. And number 5, markets are just going to be continuing to watch the Fed. The Fed held rates steady this week, but investors are now focused on whether incoming economic data supports another rate increase in September. Every major data release next week, including ISM reports and Friday's jobs reports, will shape expectations for the Fed's next move. If inflation appears to be cooling and the labor market softens, stocks could rally. If the economy remains too hot, markets may price in tighter monetary policy for longer. Remember to go sign up for my totally free newsletter down below and check out the school community while you're at it. That link's down there as well. For now, go ahead and watch either of these 2 videos. Remember to keep investing simplified, and I look forward to having you over in the new community.